So the video was, is it okay or acceptable in 2022 to judge a person for being a Republican? And I said yes. And this person said, so you no longer speak to your Republican neighbors who you'd let borrow your tools? Didn't say that. Didn't say that at all. I have a gentleman that lives behind me who's a very conservative. We've never really discussed in too deep of a detailed conversation politics, but I know he's a very conservative, right-wing type of guy. I judge his politics, just like I guarantee you he judges my politics. But this is what most of the country doesn't seem to grasp. I judge his politics, he judges my politics. And yet if he picked up the phone right now and sent me a text message and said, dude, I need to borrow your backpack blower out of your shed, tell him, fuck, you know how to get into my backyard. You don't ever have to ask. If he came around and knocked on the door and said, man, me and the missus got an emergency, her dad's sick, can you sit with the kids? I'd be there in a heartbeat. Just like I know if I went back there and knocked on the door and said, I got an emergency, can you sit with my son? I got to run to the hospital, see so-and-so. Either him or his wife would most likely say, yeah, no problem, we got it. Or if I went over there and knocked on the door and said, hey, I need to borrow your chainsaw for a minute, he'd go, yeah, no problem, man. Once upon a time in this country, people could have differing points of views and judge each other, if need be, for their political points of views, but realize that we were all still human beings and Americans first. We're no longer at that place. We are still at that place. My friend across the street is a hardcore libertarian. He judges me every time he talks to me about politics without even knowing he does. He tells me to my face, anybody who votes for a Democrat or a Republican are just sheep voting for the two-party system. Now, he doesn't realize he's insulting me to my face, or maybe he does. We still get along great. Still one of the first guys I pick up the phone and text when something happens in the trade world. When Frank Reich got fired by the Colts, he texted me. He goes, man, did you see that? Because while we vehemently disagree on politics, we know that we're all still Americans and human beings first. And we all, at the end of the day, want the same thing. We want a nice, safe town to raise our kids in. We want to be able to earn our money, be left alone, and send our kids to a good school. We just disagree on how we're going to go about getting there. Yeah, I still talk to all my neighbors. Frequently? No. But if they needed something, I'm here for any one of them.